At this time, it's time to move on to our next coach this morning, which is the head coach of the Monmouth Hawks, Kevin Callahan. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mark. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Been a little bit better, but we'll deal with this little hiccup here.
All right.
Hawks with a tough loss at Kennesaw State. You have the bye week this week. If you can open up and talk about the game against KSU and things that you're going to be working on with a couple games remaining.
Sure. Obviously, we went down to Kennesaw, and the first thing that we knew going into that game that it was going to be a heck of a ball game and a heck of a challenge for us. They're doing a terrific job down there for their first year in playing games, and I think they're really well coached and they play within their schemes extremely well. And we knew that it was a game where we were going to have to maximize each of our possessions, because typically when you play their style against their style of offense, you're not going to get the 10 to 12 possessions you would get in a normal game. A normal game, usually it's 8 or possibly 9. And we had to make sure that we were very efficient and maximize each of those possessions. And, we started off with the first possession and went down and got a touchdown. But then after that, we had an interception followed by a missed field goal down in the red zone, and didn't get off to the start that we had hoped to on the offensive side. And defensively, I think, as the game went on, they started to hit some creases on us and gain some yards and did a terrific job on converting third downs. And, that's an area where, we have not been as good as we need to be on defense, and that's our third down conversions against. So, to their credit, they did an exceptional job. We know we've got some work to do during this bye week to get ready for the final 2 games of the season.
All right, Coach, at this time we'll start taking questions for you. If you go up for those who wish to talk to Coach Callahan, please press *1 on your phone at any time, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you join us via the web. And Coach, you just alluded to it, that you have the bye week. What are some things that you plan to work on, and what's the schedule like for the next week?
Well, having the bye week now in week 10 of the season is a little bit different than when you have it maybe at the midway point or earlier in the year. And, really the primary thing right now is is recovery. It's rest, recovery, and hopefully get some of the players back that we've been missing here the last couple of weeks. So we are going to work out twice. This way we're going to practice on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll give the kids Friday off and then get back to work here on Sunday. But we're going to work on some situational type things on both sides of the ball, areas where we maybe haven't got enough work or situations haven't come up that frequently during the season. And we're going to address those specifically this week. We're going to go out there and go to work, but we also want to make sure that we're, not getting any more guys dinged up than we already have.
Coach, talk about Zach Welch, who had a nice game against KSU, 112 yards on just 16 carries, filling in for Levon Chaney, as well as Michael Jolly. Those two guys kind of spearheaded the rushing attack in Levon's absence.
Well, yeah, Zach has been out for the last 5 weeks. He got injured back in September. I guess it was in our Fordham game. Hasn't been able to play since, so it was good to see him get out there and be able to really contribute in a very positive way, to our offense. Early on in the season when we had both Zach and Levon running, it was a pretty good 1-2 punch that we had. And they could kind of spell each other and play off each other a little bit. But, this week we had Zach, but we didn't have Levon. And as you mentioned, Mike Jolly was able to come in and give us some real positive plays there. So, moving forward, I think this is a week that, Zach will continue to get healthier. And hopefully he'll be a little bit better from a health standpoint after the bye week as we go into the next game.
And my last question for you, I think we've talked about him a couple times already, but just the consistent play of Mike DeCille. He did not get 10 tackles for the first time in 6 games, but his first interception of the year. Just his consistency play through the first 8 games, especially going to the bye week, how much it's going to help him.
Well, Mike is a guy that he's got good football intelligence. He sees the field pretty well, and he's able to put himself in position to make plays. He's still learning as a sophomore. There's still a lot about the game and a lot about playing in the secondary that he has to learn. but he's an aggressive player. He's frequently around the football. And as I said, he's always putting himself in position to make plays.
All right, Coach. Well, I'm not seeing anything else for you right now, so we'll go ahead and let you go. But enjoy the bye week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Mark.
Thanks, Coach. All right, everyone, we're going to take a quick break. We're still a little early, so we'll try to make sure we get back on schedule. I need to redial in and get back onto the web system here properly, so please stand by, and we'll resume in another minute or two. Thank you, and sorry for the inconvenience.